And we are live with the legend Greg Doucette, guys. I'm excited to have him. Let's get into it, Barry. Let's go. All right, and we are live. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Fresh Air Podcast, regular edition, man. We're joined with Greg Doucette. Happy to have you finally in studio, man. Last time we had you on, I think it was maybe roughly a year ago. You were back in Canada. We had to do it remote because of some other reasons, which I'll let you explain. But, man, welcome to the show. Happy to have you.
Live in person.
For those that aren't familiar with you, Greg, can you please introduce yourself to the people?
Well, I'm happy to be back. They let me across the border. This is amazing. Basically, everyone calls me Coach Greg. I've been a professional bodybuilder for many years, powerlifter, and in the last several years, I've gotten to YouTube, and basically, I comment on fitness, health, and what's going on in the industry. I think that's what I'm most known for, maybe doing natty or nuts on people, but I just have fun. I put out 1 or 2 videos a day, and I'm loving my life.
Yeah, I would say definitely probably the #1 fitness commentary channel. Anytime I want to get, news or what's going on in the fitness world. Because I'm not in it like that as much, but it's always, could catch up through you. So thank you for that, man.
Awesome. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
And it's funny, you guys did an actual Jubilee episode that went viral.
Yes.
That was insane with comments.
Greg was the only guy on my side, man. He was the only guy supporting me, man. I was there with those Wokies out there in LA.
How dare you?
And we had a debate on fat people, and Greg was there, even though it's not the popular thing to do, because we were surrounded, bro. Everyone there was super liberal, man.
How dare you?
So, but no, I guess what was your experience like on that Jubilee thing? Because I think that's the most commented video they've had since.
I would argue it probably is.
Yeah. Well, it was a fantastic experience, and I agreed with everything you were saying. You just go and say it in a stronger way than me, but I'm on the same page. Everything made sense, but half the people on the panel were gay, and I'm like, these are not real opinions. It's like, are you serious right now? Yeah,
it was definitely we were outnumbered. I'll say that. But so what's new with you, man? I know obviously before you had some situations where you couldn't come in. How'd you go about being able to get let back into the country? Because we know that U.S. Customs can be pretty tough, especially with Trump in now.
Yeah.
Well, I had a criminal record, so I couldn't go to the States for about 10 years. They let me in for a year. If I was a good boy, which I was, they said they let me back in. And unfortunately, it took 11 months to process my paperwork, so I couldn't go to the States again. They've let me back in. It's been a week, and so I'm already here.
Yeah. And it was something with if you could talk about it, I think it's done. This is a decade, almost
it's over
a decade.
10 years ago, yeah.
Something to do with I
was selling steroids.
Okay. And did you got caught in the United States with them?
No, I was only in Canada. It was and see, the thing is with Canada versus the United States, steroids are illegal in the United States. In Canada, they're legal. I can use them.
Okay.
The problem is you can't sell them.
Okay.
And so I was selling them to my friends, people I was coaching, and so eventually they caught on, and that's where it went wrong.
Gotcha. Was it like RCMP or CBSA or
CBSA? Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
The RCMP don't care. Half of them are using it, literally.
And for those that are wondering, for the American people, RCMP guys is like their equivalent of the FBI
or police, I guess.
Yeah, it's like their national police. And then CBSA would be the equivalent to our Customs and Border Protection.
Yes, exactly.
So it was CBSA. Were you trying to come in or go out? Or?
I had products that had come in across from China and whatnot. Yeah.
So they intercepted the package and then
packages, a lot of them, but with very small amounts.
And then did they do the whole what we call in America controlled delivery, where they deliver the drugs and then they bust you
they just bust the door down. Yeah.
They didn't even bother to deliver. They're just we know what's going here.
They had followed me for a long time. Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's crazy though, because even in America, even though steroids are illegal, it's very tough to get a steroid case prosecuted federally by the feds. You need a lot of it. Or it needs to be someone that's in a trusted position doing it. I remember we did a a steroid case on some cops in Connecticut.
Well, I was told from my
Back in the
former
day.
fitness bodybuilder that most people are using it anyway in the competitions. Like if you're not using it, you're kind of like losing.
Oh yeah, I mean it's so common, but I think people don't want to talk about it. They want to keep it hush hush. I'm very open what's going on, but I mean what I think is I have a very good story because I literally abused steroids for 10 years and then stopped them. For the last 5 I've stopped, but I'm only on HRT prescribed by my doctor. And my message on my YouTube channel is not to do it, that you're going to regret it. You got these young guys like Sam Sulik or Chris Bumstead. They've got millions of followers. They have incredible physiques, and these young guys, teenagers, see that and they have an admiration of them. They want to be like them. And so they will start using steroids. Every year, it seems the guys get younger. And so I'm an older guy. I'm 49. You know, I'm pushing 50, 50 keys of Turk across the border, but that's a different story. And so I'm like, guys, you eventually will regret it. Like, I'm old enough, and they're young, and they're like, I'll never do that. I'm like, I was once you. All these 22-year-olds, they're thinking I'm just some old guy. I was 22. And so now that I'm older, I have the wisdom. And so when I warn people, it's like, I'm speaking from experience. I think I'm somebody that people can listen to. Like, I'm very honest, open, transparent. I tell you what I think. And so when I'm telling you, you're on steroids in your 20s and eventually you're going to be 50, you're going to look back and be like, why did I do this? I'm not kidding.
And, you know, that's kind of a refreshing change because, you know, I remember when I was consuming a lot of, you know, fitness YouTube stuff from the early 2010s up until about 2017-ish, right? And I might be showing my datedness here, but I remember talking about gear, as they would call it, was taboo. Like, you know, no one would ever admit it. Everyone was, you know, what they would call a fake natty or half natty or whatever it may be. And it was just a taboo thing that no one wanted to touch because, you know, they didn't want to lose their sponsorship with Gymshark or ON or one of these other big companies. But now it seems as though, you know, if you aren't transparent about it, you're basically cooked, right? Being so lying is no longer the way. Versus I remember no one would admit that they were on it before. I mean, does Michael Hearn still run around and say he's natural?
He still says he's
To this
natty in
day.
his 50s. I mean, he must be from Krypton because no one looks like that in their 50s.
Oh,
But people still believe it.
wow. So what would you say are like some of the biggest differences, I guess, within like the last, well, damn near a decade now of, you know, fitness YouTube where before it used to be very bad to admit that stuff, but there's like guys like Chris Bumstead, etc. Do they admit that they're on gear? Or
Yes.
They do, right?
I would say the biggest
Phil
difference
Heath would never
No.
during his era.
The biggest difference is people are now not only admitting to it, they're promoting it. They're getting glorified. They're making money from it. Guys like Togi that literally are like, I gamble, I do rec drugs, and I do gear, and I do it on purpose to get famous, and it's working. Millions of videos.
Isn't that the guy that is cool with Nut Boys?
Togi's
I think so.
Yeah.
I think with Steiny, yeah. I
Okay,
think
yeah,
so.
he
Cool.
he's famous for gambling.
Okay.
I've done so many videos on this guy. I've gone over his blood work, showing him that this guy's going to die early death, and it's like you
Oh,
warn
he's
people
showing his blood work?
multiple times. I've shown him. I'm like, this guy has chlamydia. He's probably got gonorrhea. He's going to die. Like, oh, it's crazy.
Wait, he has that shit?
Well, based on the blood work, absolutely.
What the fuck?
Okay, I'm intrigued now. Can you tell us
holy.
a little bit about that? Like, how did you know from looking at his? Because he posted his blood work on there. I'm assuming to tell people I'm on gear.
He's showing people that, you know, it's not that bad. It's not a big deal. Like, look at this, look at this, look at that. I'm pretty good. And it's like, bro, you just outed yourself. Based on what I'm seeing, there's these markers showing you probably going to have some kind of liver disease. You're probably going to have some kidney problems. You have high blood pressure. You know, everything lists up that it's not good. But he's like, that's not a big deal.
And this guy's in his 20s.
He's 22.
Holy shit! And he already
fame and clout. I wanted to be on top. Makes you do crazy stuff.
And it worked. And so you see Togi, and you're like, if I go in
chlamydia is
here
crazy,
and put
though.
on 25
How do you
pounds
know
of muscle,
he
I
got
can pop-
chlamydia? How do you know that though?
Well, technically, I don't. It's
Okay.
it's my genius scientist that works with me, Marwan, who's sitting with me and going over all his blood work. This guy worked for a very famous health clinic. I won't name the name.
Okay.
But he worked for this, and so he's one of these guys that reads the blood work, and he knows everything, and he's just going through everything step by step, and he's like, this is indication of that, this and this and this, and so I report on this, because
with
I'm
what
not a
degree of-
doctor. I wouldn't be
I
able
was
to
going to
do
ask
this
you,
at
like,
this
how do
level.
you? Okay.
Yeah, like you would need a PhD and then some to be able to know the level of analysis that he can do, and not many people could do it.
What degree of certainty would you say that it's he has chlamydia or these other diseases?
Very high.
Wow. Like over 90?
I would say so.
Damn. So he can literally look at the blood panel and can see all the other problems there.
And that's the
anomalies.
least of his worries. But I mean, he'll say things like, "Oh, it just goes away," and it's like, no, it doesn't. But
Well, I'll tell you this, man.
Hey, yo, that nigga's got to be half black to say some shit like that.
No,
Hey, it just goes away.
Bro, nowadays in the dating game, bro, it's scary out here, bro. You gotta be careful.
Oh,
you,
yeah.
You never know. So
yeah,
Bruh. Okay, so they're honest about it because I remember, like guys like Rich Piana, rest in peace to him, Boston Lloyd, whatever. Those guys were considered like going against the grain for like talking about gear and talking about, yeah, I'm not natural. Like that was considered fucking career suicide back then. But now it seems as though it's mainstream for everyone from Olympia to fitness influencers are honest about it. Versus I remember when I was like really into it, you know, when Kai Green and Phil Heath were having battles at the Olympia like 10 years ago. No one ever talked about gear usage ever. Like it was taboo. But nowadays I guess they are. So Chris Bumstead is the main guy now. Is he winning all the Olympias?
he's won 6 in a row. He's now retired. He also has an autoimmune disease, kidney problems. It's probably shortening his life by 10, 20 years. No one seems to care. 25 million followers. I'm like, this is our hero. And maybe he retired early. He's only 29. Maybe he retired because of this. You can't do steroids for that long safely. People are like, no, I do it safely. It's like you can't abuse gear safely. Like they don't go together.
Yeah.
So I guess from someone that's a novice in bodybuilding, what's the best way to get a insane body naturally? Well, when it's naturally, I mean, like, is it TRT? What do you use to like kind of like get that?
Well,
loose?
first of all,
The least
TRT
invasive,
wouldn't
I mean,
be
you mean,
natural.
right?
At least invasive.
So use some drugs, but the least invasive way, right?
That won't kill you 10 years earlier or 20 years older.
Okay.
So you're saying what could you do that's not natural to improve your physique?
Pretty much.
I would say
That won't kill
TRT
you
is
early.
probably the safest thing that you could do, being monitored by your doctor, making sure that your blood work is in order. Like I'm on TRT. I'm on 140 milligrams of test a week. You know, I work with Transcend. They go through your blood work and prescribe whatever you need to do it as safe as possible. But what most people are doing, they're not going through a clinic. They're just getting it underground from the guy at the gym, and they have no idea what they're taking.
Put a guy's car in the trunk.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Here you go, buddy.
you don't know what you're doing, but the
Some
problem is they're
Mexico
not
shit.
getting their blood work done.
Yeah.
Like the problem is 100 people could all take the same dose. 10 of them, it's really bad for them. The other 90, not a big deal, but how do you know which one you are? You don't.
Damn. So that's crazy. So you kind of knew just from looking at the blood work. That's wild though that you guys get, but you got a guy that's like an expert that can look at these.
Well,
panels.
that's what blood work is for. And
Yeah.
any really good doctor could do this, but I mean, not many are qualified for that. So, but that's what you want to do. If you're using steroids, you want to get your blood work done and look, because it's a ticking time bomb. If you don't know, hey, this is going on in your body, in me, I would be healthy. But for you doing the same cycle, you might be dying 10 years younger.
Yeah, I did blood work 2 months ago just to see like where I was at. I'm pretty healthy, but I'm low in testosterone. So I got
How
this-
low? Do you have it in nanograms per deciliter? Because
right now.
most people think it's too low, but it's actually normal.
Really?
We've been brainwashed to think that, hey, if you're not 800, that somehow there's a problem.
It was like 5 something.
Yeah, that's
Sure enough.
amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm
shit.
on
Well, I'll
on
tell you this-
testosterone.
I'll tell you this, bro.
My range is 565 to 750,
Oh shit.
and I'm on HRT prescribed by a doctor, and I'm in the 500s to 700s. Now we got a guy like Alex Eubank. I don't know if you guys know this guy. He was this famous natty, and he just went on HRT. He was on 200 milligrams a week, and his testosterone levels were 1500, which is way too high, and he's lowered his dose to 150.
I was going to ask you, like, what is the perfect range to be in?
Like
for
anything over
optimality?
1,000 is redonkulous. It's like amazing. Like maybe point something percent of the population would be that high.
Okay, so anything over 1,000. What would you say is the upper limits of for optimality and while preserving your?
I would say right at
vitality?
1,000.
Right at
Like
1,000?
I'm at,
Okay.
like you got to think. I'm 49. I obviously care how I look, and my dose is 140. I'm in the 700s, 500. If I thought it was safe to just go up to 200 milligrams, wouldn't I do that?
Yeah.
And so the fact that I'm not, it could kind of give people an indication that you don't want to push it.
Yeah.
Like if growth hormone were actually that safe, why am I not on it?
Lowest
And I
effect
would
that-
be telling you if I was. Why wouldn't I? They would get more views. Hey, guys, I'm taking growth hormone now.
Yeah.
So the fact that I'm not should be telling people you probably don't want to take these things unless you actually really need it.
So minimum effective dose is the mantra, it seems.
Absolutely. The lowest dose that makes you happy is what I always say.
Now HGH, there's tends to be this idea that it's like for growth, but isn't it really for like anti-aging and hormone regulation?
It can be anti-aging, but what I like to think of it is it's stealing from your future. You're going to look younger, the hair, the nails, better sleep and all that now,
Gotcha.
but rather than living to 90, maybe only live to 80.
Oh.
So I see it as a borrowing from the future. That's why I don't do it, because I would love to take it. Like, why not? But it's just not worth it to me. The risk isn't there. I just can't.
Gotcha. So it's so pretty much, yeah. All right. And it's pretty much been, because I'm sure it's one of the very, highly studied drug, because so many people use it, that basically, yeah, you're taking a loan out against your life, essentially.
Yeah. You're trading in my future health and years to look good today, which a lot of young people don't care. Like when I took steroids in my 30s, I didn't care about when I'm 90, but now that I'm older, it's like, maybe it wasn't worth it. And when you're in that kind of that spotlight, and I'm like, I want to be a pro, I want to be famous, I want to, make money from this, I want to make it my career. You do things that you probably shouldn't. So I start taking steroids. I keep upping the doses. I basically took the highest dose that I could physically handle. Mm-hmm. I would push the trend higher and higher, and then I'm like, I can't sleep. I feel like shit.
At your peak, what was your stack?
I did 700 Tren for a week and couldn't handle it. And that's just one of the items. I do like 700 tests, 700 Tren, like 700 as many things as I could, plus orals on top of that.
Can you name some of the, what was your, can you tell them what your stack was that you were taking at your peak when you were competing and everything?
Like I 700 of everything, like tests.
So TRT.
Oh, no, 700 tests, 700 Tren, 700 Masterone, 700 EQ. But the Tren could only do that for like a week. I literally felt like my heart was racing. I felt like anxiety. I felt like
Were you getting the sweats?
I was
like
getting
the night sweats and
stuff?
stuff?
Oh, absolutely. I'd sweat through blankets. I had to sweat. Oh, yeah. It was really bad. And I did that for like a week. I had to lower my dose to 500. And even at 500, like, when you're on low doses, for like what I would call low doses when I was then would be like, say, 700 milligrams a test and that's it.
Yeah.
I felt amazing. I felt great. When I was on all that Tren, I could not wait for the cycle to be over. So I'm on all these drugs because I'm trying to win a show.
A pro card.
And I'm just thinking, I can't wait to go off so I can feel normal again.
Mm-hmm.
And you got a guy like Mike Isertel, all he feels is rage. He can remember in the distant past seeing that river and the emotions he felt about it, but he doesn't feel that anymore. He can't experience normal human emotions. So if you see him talk about his experience with steroids, I don't understand how anyone could ever do them.
And I'm definitely I got a question to ask about that. So I guess for the Tren, because you hear so many different things from people, like what was the worst side effect for you? Because I think that's the one that does most of it gets you most of the gains, but also gives you some of the worst side effects.
Well, some of the worst things that people talk about, like the Tren cough, but I'm like, I don't think people care. Like you cough for 5 to 10 minutes straight and you think you're going to die. Shit. But to me, that's not really that bad. I would say for me, Trensomnia, where you just can't sleep. Like imagine every night struggling to sleep more than 3 hours. You need to sleep to grow, and you just can't. So then I got essentially addicted to sleeping pills to counteract the fact that I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
So as the steroids went up, the sleeping pills went up. I'm on Seroquel. I'm doing 100 milligrams just to go to sleep. Zolpicones every night. And I'm like, this is the only way I could sleep. Wow. And so it's just an anxiety that you just feel constantly like on edge. Like my heart, there's something in my chest that just didn't feel right, and I hated it.
Did it, and obviously this affects everyone differently, but what Tren makes you rage as well, doesn't it?
Now, I personally think that it's something that you already have. It exploits it more. Like people think they see me screaming and shouting on the camera, but like really, if you just knew me in private, I'm just a chill guy.
Yeah.
Like literally.
Just a chill guy.
That's
just
that
a
meme,
chill
right?
guy. Exactly. I'm that meme. And it's like when people meet me, bro, how come you're not yelling? How come you're not? I'm like, I'm just a normal guy. I don't do that.
Yeah.
But the steroids, it kind of amplifies. If you're already aggressive, it makes you more aggressive.
Yeah.
If you're very sexual, it makes you more sexual. It's even been shown to make some guys turn gay.
Oh, wow.
Like they'll be like
What?
that crazy. Yeah.
Oh, hell no.
Derek, which we spoke about, he made a video talking about this. It's been shown to do this. Some people go from liking a certain type of girl to like a fatter girl. Or in a conversation, I want to say yesterday, he's like, the more androgens I'm on, like Tren or Test, the more I go for the big jack girls with the deep voices. And it's like, and I like it. Just from taking steroids, it changes. And when they're off cycle, it's like, I like a normal looking woman. So it changes your mind on what you're looking for. Literally.
I'll tell you this, nigga. If I thought about using steroids, I'm doing it now. Fuck that, bro. Hell
It's
no.
some scary shit. And then when the biggest problem with steroids is not when you're on them. Like, the side effects, you see the muscles, you look better and so on. So it's like, screw that, I don't care. But when you go off and you start seeing your muscles shrink and then you can't get hard on and you're like, what's the point of having this body if I can't get hard? I have no sex drive anymore. I feel like shit all the time. And then what happens? You go back on. because you're chasing the high. It's like being addicted to drugs, like a recreational. Like if you're doing lines of creatine all the time and you stop and you're like addicted, you're going to want to keep doing it. Same happens with steroids. Once you get that dream physique, you're on a 4-month cycle, you stop. Well, I want it back.
Well, I'll tell you this: there's a lot of bodybuilders here in Miami that have girlfriends that are doing their thing. I wonder why.
Man, so what would you say is the worst, drug in any stack? Is it the Tren or is it the EQ, or what would you say is by far the worst?
Halotestin, which was an oral, it's a hardener at the end for show prep. It gives you a lot of energy and aggression, but that could make me a bit angry. But I don't know, maybe it's that, but it's also could be the fact that I'm really dieting hard at that point. But certainly Tren is the one that I think is the worst. But halotestin, orally, it's not good for your kidneys and whatnot. That one's very careful to be with. You can only do it for like maybe 2 to 4 weeks. But Tren certainly... it's about as bad as you can get.
What about Anavar? I've been told that.
My favorite by far?
Yeah.
I loved Anavar.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to bullshit. Like, I'm like saying, this, like, I liked Anavar so much that to this day, it's been 5 years, I want to do Anavar still. Because the pumps, like, it's just crazy. It's like, think of Cialis on steroids. Damn. Cialis gives you a crazy pump. If you watch Will Tennyson's last video, my goodness, he went through all the like half natty stuff, like testosterone and Cialis and various things. And he was like, Cialis, I'm giving it a 6 out of 5 stars. Like the pumps, the veins, it really does make a difference. And so Anavar, it's like that, but it also adds the strength.
Okay.
Is Cialis safe to use before working out though?
In lower doses for 99% of people, absolutely. For some people,
so you're just working out with a hard on?
Well, that's the thing. People are worried about that, but like
people might get the wrong idea, right?
Oh, they definitely will.
Yeah, like girls might think you're a perv. You're like, no, I'm just trying to get a good pump.
The thing with Cialis is you need to be turned on.
TikTok video. You're gonna post that shit, and then what's his name, Joey?
Joey
This
Swole?
is no good for the gym, man.
Yeah.
What are you doing, bro?
Yeah, you're gonna be a Joey Swole video, man.
Scaring the hose away, man.
I would say Cialis, one of the most underrated supplements you can get.
Shit.
In terms of, it's still considered natural. It's not banned by WADA, but it's going to give you that extra pump.
Can you get it over the counter? Cialis? I don't think so.
From your doctor, but no.
Most doctors will sell it.
Yo, so you ever heard about Superman?
The Cialis and Viagra stack?
Yes. So
I've done those in the past.
I actually did one on vacation with a chick.
Yeah.
My doctor gave it to me. Shout out to him. You know who you are. And let's just say, bro, like she was destroyed.
I can imagine. It can make a friggin' difference. Well, do you know how many guys who are on steroids after they come off, they need Cialis Viagra just to perform?
Oh, wow.
I would say at least 50%, and it's not like they're going to come out and talk about it.
Yeah.
People talk about all the good stuff. They're not talking about the crap that's going on. They're not going to show you the blood work or talk about the fact that it's taking years off their life, the blood pressure and all that. They're just talking about, I'm Jack, look at me. They're not talking about the shit that goes on.
Damn. This is my old test results. I can't find any new ones, but that's my test scores right there.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, bro. Because you know what's funny, bro? Like,
what's your assessment on that, Greg?
Hey, I'm pretty healthy, man.
601. This is amazing.
Oh, thanks, bro. Yo, but it's funny. So he
that
was
explains why this nigga's a horn dog. He's always chasing after ass. All this guy does is chase after girls, man.
Hold on, man.
Like at 600, there's no reason to change anything. And if anyone says, that's on the low side, they're probably trying to sell you gear.
Ah, okay. Because I've been offered Anavar, all this shit. I'm like, nigga. Oh, Myron told me don't do it. So I'm not doing none of the shit. But I feel way better.
Anavar is popular with the women, though, isn't it?
It's the least androgenic steroid that I can think of for women to do. So that by androgenic, I mean that's likely to cause virilization or like a deepening of the voice.
Allows
the
them to stay
Adam's apple
feminine,
growth.
so it doesn't increase their...
most women who compete in bikini pageants or most Instagram girls that we see that are like hot girls that we would think are hot are probably taking Anavar.
Yes.
But they're not going to admit it.
Of course.
And they're going to take it in low enough doses that no one's going to suspect them. You're thinking, you're on Anavar, you're on steroids, you probably look like a man. No, you look like a bikini model. That's what they're taking.
Wow, so even bikini models are taking
most bikini models.
Not figure, which is like a step up fitness-wise.
Not all, not 99%. But yeah, in the bottom end bikini, most are taking Anavar.
Yo, this is some like top level shit that if you don't know, you don't know, but he knows behind the scenes.
Yeah, no, I mean...
think of it. I used to coach these girls. And I still do in secret coach people. And their coaches think they're natural and they're asking me what they're doing.
Wow. You know, Anavar, I've heard about it for years. They make the joke, eat clean and trend hard and Anavar give up. Yeah. The old memes. Whatever happens to the misc, man? Is it done with?
Bodybuilding.com?
Yeah, like the term Myron Gaines came from there. Like, is the misc gone, man?
Zeus.
Is what gone?
The misc.
The
Like, where
forums.
the forums
The
from
old forums.
bodybuilding.com forums, like where they used to use like.
I'm too old to have been on forums.
Okay.
Like
Even before. Okay.
I'm way too old for that.
You know, like we type in like on Google, like how do I get bigger in the gym? You find like a forum or like a thread of people just.
Wouldn't that be like Reddit?
This is like 10 years ago.
I feel like that's Reddit.
bodybuilding forums. The MISC is a whole other.
Yeah, it's kind of
Bodybuilding.com maybe?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I've heard of that.
that's what it was.
Yeah.
The miscellaneous section of bodybuilding.com. It's like where Aziz and these guys like blew up like a decade plus ago.
Yeah.
You know,
Back in the day.
with trolling.
Either way, though, it's probably
Different
dead by
world
now.
now.
I think people do the trolling and all the forum stuff on YouTube video comment sections now.
They probably do.
Like
yeah.
it's right there. I'm
Do
like,
we even lift, bro?
They migrated.
Eat clean and trend hard, like all that stuff.
yeah.
So in the fitness industry, right? It used to be, I remember people would vlog their lifestyle. This is a day in the gym. This is my macros, blah, blah. I've noticed that that's not really a thing anymore. Very few guys like do that as much and at least are able to get like a lot of views. It's gotten really repetitive, I guess, and boring for people. What would you say is like the main niche for fitness now? Is it commentary, kind of like you do? Is it lifestyle stuff? Because I've seen some guys kind of incorporate far more lifestyle into their stuff where they kind of like vlog it now. What would you say is like the main, thing with fitness industry now?
Well, the thing
For
is,
YouTube.
just like fashion that comes in and out of style, or just like body shapes. Like for women in the '90s, all the girls had to be skinny. Then it was like they all had to have a wisdom tooth body and like big boobs, and it keeps switching. The same thing happens in the fitness industry. I would say the biggest trend right now is people talking and promoting steroids. People coming out and saying,
okay.
I take this, I take that, you should do this. It's such a huge thing.
180-degree turn.
HRT, the normalization of steroids. I would say mainly HRT being like normal now.
It doesn't get banned on YouTube?
It doesn't get banned on YouTube. No, everyone can talk about this.
Because
People
it used to be you
promote
would
it.
get banned on YouTube for even talking about gear. That's why so many people were scared.
One
as
of
well.
my old videos on YouTube, I've been doing YouTube since 2006, and I would come and go. I made a video about Anavar, the dangers of it, how many milligrams to take, the side effects, and I went back a couple years later, and I was like 600,000 views. I was like, yeah, that's the most video views I've ever gotten. So I'm like, maybe I should do more videos about that. I started doing videos on Anavar, testosterone, all that, and then talk about natty or nots, and my channel just blew up.
Yeah.
So I was kind of one of the early risers of people that talked about performance-enhancing drugs. So
Yeah.
I do think that is really becoming popular right now.
Okay, so it's making it come
What
back.
about peptides and growth hormones, stuff like that?
That to me, that's all part of it. Peptides are banned by WADA in general, most of them.
What is
And
WADA for those that are...
World Anti-Doping Agency. So if you want to compete in the Olympics, there's certain drugs you can take and certain drugs you can't. For example, caffeine is a drug. Right now you can take it. 25 years ago it was banned. So if you drank 5 of these, you failed the drug test. You are not natty.
Yeah.
Now, would anyone say you're not natty for taking a pre-workout? Nobody would say it. But back in the day, it's like, well, it's a performance-enhancing drug, so can you take it?
Could you say that one more time? Caffeine is a drug?
Caffeine is absolutely a drug. 100%. It's a performance-enhancing drug that's legal. So it's one of the top, if not one of the best in the world, actual performance enhancers that people can take.
This is why I stay away from caffeine.
What?
Well, this is like once in a lifetime. You know what I'm saying? Continue.
Yeah. So I mean, if you take certain drugs, you're going to fail a drug test. There's certain ones that you can have a debate. Like for example, BPC 157. Is that natty? Well, no. It's been banned. It speeds healing. It's part of that Wolverine stack.
BBC?
BPC. So if somebody takes it, are they actually cheating the drug test?
Oh, I have a gang called BBC. That's why.
Oh, really?
Yeah, bigger, better confidence.
You got
Okay.
excited when he's about to go get that drug now, BBC.
Yeah, let's go.
Hey guys, get your questions in for Greg now, by the way. We'll read the chats towards the end, so we'll save that for the end. Get all your stuff.
Okay.
So I gotta ask, right? Mike Israetel, aka Dr. Israetel. I'm familiar with his work because, I think he does really good programs for people. He's real big on periodization, creating plans, an evidence-based look at training and optimizing for hypertrophy. But you and him have had some words. I'll just let you take it away from there.
Yeah, he's been very critical of me. 4 or 5 years ago, we did a podcast where I basically said to make the most optimal gains, you should train harder than last time. He's like, no, you should leave 3 reps in reserve. So it's kind of like really train hard versus to kind of like hold yourself back a little bit. And to this day, it's still up for debate, really. Some people feel that you should really need to train to failure. Some people no. I think it depends on the person. But in that meeting, he kind of had... he went in it with the wrong attitude. I went in it just to talk and have a good time, and he went at it like to really
Was there an
embarrass
intermediary
me.
in the middle, or was it you
It
two
was
talking?
I was hungover in Dominican Republic and just chatting, and he was like he was
So
really
just
mad
you
at
two,
me.
no middleman.
Yeah, there was a middleman.
Who was
I
it? Jeff
forget the
Nippard
name.
or
Do you guys remember?
Middleman between.
Yeah, I forget the name
might
of the
not
guy.
remember. That's
I
fine.
was so bad
But
with
someone
names.
hosted it. Someone hosted
Yeah,
it basically.
and we weren't
Okay.
face to face, but
Virtual.
he took offense to that. He went on Reddit and posted, I went into that podcast to humiliate this guy, to embarrass him. I have a PhD. He's
really?
only got his master's. I'm way smarter than this guy. I have the smartest. He basically says he's the smartest coach in the world, the highest raw IQ score. And so he wasn't very happy because in the end of it,
All
a
this
lot of people
overtraining to
felt
failure.
like you lost the debate because Greg was nicer. And so he was like, I'll never let that happen again. I don't know what he said. I used some kind of theory on how to I was like, I didn't do anything. I wasn't playing you. I just was in a discussion. Later, I thought we had squashed the beef. We had made several videos together talking about like, you need to bulk and cut, like just, normal things. Then all of a sudden he was in a video and he's like, that Greg Doucette, he's a lying, two-faced mother cocksucker, print that. And he was like,
Is he Canadian too, or no?
no, he's from the U.S.
Okay.
He also said I was a sociopath, and he said I lied about being a doctor. I'm like, I literally have a shirt saying I'm not a doctor, but so, and then I met up with me in at the
Well,
Olympia.
because he has his PhD, so he obviously dislikes.
I
yeah.
think,
I'm a
he met
PhD.
me in Vegas, and he made fun of me the whole time. I just played along with sport.
Yeah. Hey, sound effects. Elmo, man. Sorry, continue on.
Wrong one.
Wrong sound effects, nigga.
And so
I'm a
every time he
PhD.
talks about me, I would just talk back. And then he really wanted to get his IFBB Pro card. He says, I want to prove that the methods at Renaissance periodization, or RP, it stands for really pale. He wanted to prove,
RP really pale.
really pale. He wanted to prove that his methods worked better than everyone else by winning his pro card. He competed, got 6th place. And he said, I didn't win. It was because of
And
my
it's only,
tan.
is it top 2 they got the pro cards?
First place.
Oh, so it wasn't even
It wasn't close.
okay.
He said he was lean, but he just didn't have the proper tan. And he also says he carries more water than anyone from bulking in the past. He carries 20 pounds of body water from having previously bulked to 270 at 5'6" when he was natural back in the past. And I'm like, bro, you just weren't lean enough.
Yeah.
If you died an extra month and never ate Gatorade and what was he eating? And cereal, dieting for the show, that he could have looked a lot better.
Yeah.
And so it just goes back and forth continuously.
Why was he eating cereal and drinking Gatorade? Was he like doing it to prove like I just track
I
my
think
macros?
he just
I'm good?
thinks that the macros is all that counts, and I'm like, I just wouldn't eat that. But if
What's your
his
thoughts on that when it comes to like macros? Is it really calories in versus calories out, or like if you're trying to optimize for a show? Yeah, calories matter, of course, but you need to take other precautions to really look your best.
to lose weight, calories in, calories out. So no matter what you eat, if you're in a deficit, you're going to lose weight. But of course, the quality of the macros do matter. So if you're just eating licorice, 2,000 calories a day, if I ate 2,000 calories a day of licorice, I'd be shredded, but I'd have no muscle left because I don't have protein. So you do need quality nutrients because it would improve your sleep, your immune system, so many different factors. I just think he wasn't optimizing his diet. I don't think he did enough cardio. I think if I coached him, he could look incredible. I think he has great genetics for putting on size. I think he has a slow metabolism compared to maybe some other people, and he probably is hungrier than most people, but he just doesn't diet long enough. I think he needs to go from being a heavyweight to a light heavy, and I think if he did that, he would actually look
How
pretty
long
good.
did he diet on this for this show?
I don't know, but it was a month not long enough. Maybe 2 months not long enough. Whatever his end physique was would be probably where I'm at right now in my shape. So I just think he just needs to diet harder and suffer more.
What do you think? I've always been under the premise that I think 6 months is like optimal to prepare for, dieting for a show. Would you say more time, less time?
I would say if you need that long, you're in the wrong sport. You're
Okay.
absolutely way too fat in the off season.
Gotcha.
If you're above 15% body fat, you're, in my opinion, overweight by a little bit. 15% is that healthy range. Now, you could argue 20% maybe, but for a bodybuilder, above 12 to me is you're starting to get fat. Like if you don't have a 6-pack in your off season as a
Yeah.
bodybuilder, to me, you're fat.
So what do you think is optimal time for dieting
16
down?
weeks max. If you can't get ready in 16 weeks, you have done it wrong.
For a
You've
show.
bulked too far. You've gone too far. So that's 4 months. I would never diet more than 12 weeks. If I had a show in 8 weeks, I'd be ready for
Okay.
sure.
Yeah. No. That's good. I mean, and so you should never have more than what 30, 40 pounds over.
Oh, that's way too much.
Okay.
Unless you're 6'2" and 300, like if you're a mass monster.
Yeah.
But I would say like in my off season, I would be 212 and I would compete at 195.
Okay. And this is this for people that are natural, you would say? That
It wouldn't matter, natural or enhanced. They should both be,
4
within
months?
striking distance. 4 months is at the most. If you're dieting for 6 months, you're going to need a diet break. You're going to lose. You're just going to go crazy. It's too long.
Yeah.
You'll have a problem reversing the diet. You'll probably have body dysmorphia develop, like very likely. Eating disorders could develop. It's a tough sport.
No, it's no, and the reason why I say that is because I did an experiment back in like 2014 where I did like a dreamer bulk and I got like 50, 60 pounds overweight.
Way too much.
Yeah, I got fat for me, especially. Got it to like 250 pounds. So for me, I just wanted to diet nice and slow and, and I did refeeds and stuff like that. So obviously that extends the time. But, I got lean in about 6 months where I wanted to get, and then I just maintained it since. But
imagine you being fat, bro. That's almost like an oxymoron.
Yeah, it was terrible, man.
Are you like close to 200 now? Like what were you?
Yeah, I'm right now. Yeah. So when I got super lean, I got down into the low 200s, and I've just been maintaining that since.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'll never get fat again, dude. Like it was an experiment. I lost it, and the reason why it took like so long was I wanted to add refeeds in and like just make sure I like preserve as much strength. And I'm not competing for a show, so I was like, I'll take my time with this, because I didn't even feel like I was dieting by the time I got down. Because I think I started the diet off at around 4,000 calories. Then by the time I finished the diet, I was around 2,100. So it was nice and slow. But yeah, I mean, for 4 months, that makes sense though.
Yeah. When you bulk, I bulked before in the past. I mean, I didn't, like, you're young, you're experimenting. When I would go back on the diet, it was very hard to eat healthy again. So I really like ice cream and I really like cereal.
Me too.
Man. And when
I'm
you
lifetime natty too.
bulk,
For those that are wondering, I'm lifetime natty, guys. I've never taken a drug in my life. So
yeah, and I verify he is natural. I 100% believe that. And I did 42 shows natural, and natural or enhanced. I would say enhanced shows were harder than when I was natural because, and it doesn't, you're thinking that doesn't make sense. I did 42 shows natural, 17 enhanced. When you're natural, the standard is, I'll call it here.
yeah.
I would compete and be like, you look incredible. I could win natural shows without really trying that hard. I just show up and it's like, you're natural against natural guys. I look pretty good. As soon as I was enhanced, now I got to be here. And the guys who I compete against are there because they're all on gear.
Yeah.
And if you just use a little bit, like if you just go on a show, I'll just do some Anavar, and you're an enhanced show, that guy's using 700 Tren, 700 test, growth hormone, insulin, everything. And it's like, you can't meet up with that. And so when I started competing enhanced, the bar was so high, and then all of a sudden I want a pro card. Plus I'm up 3 weight classes. Like when I first was natural, I was competing in bantamweight, like 142 pounds. Now I'm 190 something pounds, and it's like everyone is so much better. So much harder.
Also,
So-
there's no money anymore, from what I heard,
Money?
in bodybuilding like that.
There never was money. Like I've never won $1 competing in bodybuilding, and I was a pro bodybuilder, and I got 4th in my last show. There's no money. You don't do it for the money.
I think so getting a pro card is more about prestige and being able to market yourself and creating other opportunities for yourself, I'm assuming, right?
As soon as I got my pro card, I tripled my business. Like literally, as coaching, you all of a sudden, I tell people having a pro card is like having your PhD in coaching. All of a sudden, there's the respect, and I think that's what Mike Israetel would want. Like if he got the pro card, he could, hey, look, all my knowledge, it's backed up by my physique.
Yeah. Can you real quick explain to people, because there's different federations, there are different types of pro cards. What are the different ones that I guess are the most popular in the bodybuilding world, you would say?
I would say the only one that anyone cares about is the IFBB.
Still?
Everything
Yeah.
else is just like, it's like you can show up and get a pro card on your first show. Bodybuilding, IFBB, you have to win at a national level show. So
Yeah.
you are the best in the country.
It's tough.
You know, out of all the different states and whatever, you are winning a huge show. Natural show, they give a pro card, you showed up, you're natural, and you look good, you're pro. You could be literally a pro in 1 year training sometimes.
So IFBB, you're never going to win that unless you're enhanced, because it's very
If you went in the smaller categories like men's physique,
okay.
at the top, you could get a pro card.
So you think Jeff Seid is natural? Or could
Jeff Seed in his past was not natural. I did a natty or not on him. I could see it
he
clearly.
got
I
an
would
IFBB
bet.
card.
And he got not an IFBB card. He got a natural pro card. Jeff Seed, however you pronounce it. I think he's natural now. But think of this. He's
I haven't
almost
seen him in
30.
years.
He's probably 15 pounds less muscle than when he was 20. How do you peak out as a teenager, keep training for 10 more years, and have 15 pounds less muscle? It doesn't make sense.
Gotcha.
He was on gear when he did the Olympia, the actual Mr. Olympia and the IFBB. He was on gear back then, and then he would have went off gear, and now he's training 100% natural, and he denies having ever used steroids. But I call the bluff. I don't believe it for 1 second.
Well, he comes from that era where if you admitted you were not natural was a problem. He comes from that era.
Exactly. And if you look at his physique back, how does a teenager look more jacked than a 30-year-old man? How would that be possible? Like, somebody explain that to me.
No, that's true.
So, not to mention this in detail, but like a lot of YouTubers that used to do bodybuilding or that's their main focus have gone either broke or astray. Either they've gone to different categories of content. And in one in particular, Kelly Muscle does a watermelon diet.
Oh,
is that viable, bro? Because I was like, watermelon diet, does that even work?
Kali Muscle he was very famous when he was the jack guy on steroids and doing that kind of content. But eventually, everyone gets sick of it's rare to have somebody popular for that long. Like, just think of it. Like, how many people can be famous forever? Like, after 5 years of doing the same thing, you've had enough. So he had to pivot, and he tried to do ASMR where you whisper and talk like that and try to like turn people on. He would do his mukbang videos. Then he came out and said, you know, I use steroids. I'm natural now. He was on HRT. And then he started doing those crazy diets, the watermelon diet. That was it's so unhealthy. I mean, all you're going to do is lose all your muscle and lose a lot of weight because how many calories are in a watermelon?
Nothing.
He got his eyeballs. I mean, she's an eye surgeon. How healthy is it to tattoo your eyeballs blue?
No, it's a pretty bad thing.
Like have you seen this?
No, I did.
Like he has blue eyes.
Yeah,
like, what is this? I think he's trying to look like John Bravo.
Yo,
like what is up with this guy? So I mean,
is that nigga real, John Bravo? He's like a character to me. Is he even
John
real?
Bravo's
cool.
a YouTuber.
Yeah,
he's cool.
He talks a lot about Wes Watson. Who you know?
Oh yeah, man, bro.
I guess.
It's just
Well,
crazy.
we were on this topic. They've been asking me all day to talk about it on my stream earlier. I guess since we're here with Greg Doucette, what's your thoughts on the whole situation? You got arrested yesterday.
I think he's guilty. I think he went way over the line. I think at first he could have said self-defense, but like once you're doing this with 3 other guys helping you out and a guy's on the ground and you've clearly beaten this guy, if you stop, I think he gets off. I think he's going to be found innocent, but where he keeps attacking the guy, it looks real bad.
Yeah, I didn't even watch the full. They didn't release the footage. Someone said that it's out now.
Oh yeah, the footage is out now.
All of it where he keeps attacking. Okay, I didn't see it yet.
Everyone's talking about this. John Bravo, myself, Penguin C0, Charlie's got 16 million followers. He posted a video today. I did one today. I think he's done 3 or 4. John Bravo, probably 10 on this guy.
Shit, man.
I mean, listen, I'll say this about Wes. He's a good dude to me, to everyone I know, but, you know, people are after him. So, I mean, he defended himself maybe too far, you know. But he's on bail now, no? Is he on bail?
I think he's out, yeah. I mean, look, when I saw because I didn't even see because you couldn't find the footage anywhere, like the full video. I guess it's out now.
It's out, yeah.
And especially now that he got arrested. Look, someone said he hit him like 50 times or something like that.
Yes.
You know, obviously self-defense, right? The one of the biggest components of self-defense is, you know, especially in Florida, is you can stand your ground, right? And you don't have a duty to retreat if you're lawfully in a place. In this case, you know, the threat was done. The guy was on the floor. It was over. And obviously hitting him again and again, that's not going to look good. And then having the other people. So there's no real danger for life anymore. So the thing is, and I told you this weeks ago, because I know you thought about bringing him on. I was like, bro, there's no way he's coming on because he's going to get charged. Like there's no way with the level of fame that this thing reached, the amount of press, that the detectives in the district attorney's office down here in Florida doesn't come after him and charge him for this. Because I think originally he got arrested for a misdemeanor for this, and then now they upped the charge and they went and got him, arrested yesterday. So, and they took their time too, which tells me they probably, crossed the T's, dotted the I's, and they're going to really try to go after him because, this is a guy that has money, so he could probably defend himself. Which, I like Wes. I think he's a nice guy. He gets mad sometimes at some things, but yeah, I mean it's not looking good from that perspective.
I'm always interested by he's a nice guy. I hear that about not just him, but anyone that's your friend. Like I have friends that are really nice, but maybe they did some bad things. Like let's say you're a drug dealer, you beat up somebody or you beat your wife, but they're really cool to me. They're really nice to me. They're a really nice guy. But it's like, can they be a nice guy if they do all the nice things to you, but they do horrible things to other people?
Yeah, I mean, everyone has the capability of showing a dark side to others that they might not show to their loved ones or their family. But what I'm saying is, like, from our interactions with him, he's been always pretty pleasant. He just, he has a temper, right? He has a temper.
I think it is. It's probably maybe drugs, maybe. Like the steroids?
He's on steroids. I mean, I'd be convinced he's like, what, 5'7" and 230 pounds?
Maybe
He
steroids,
claims
yeah.
to be 6 feet, but I'm knowing this guy's not natural. And so the aggression that it could have caused, if he's susceptible to that, it certainly could have done it. I would bet that if this guy was natural, he wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
I think it's so far to say that the drugs could have definitely had an impact. Same as when you're drunk and you do certain things that you probably sober wouldn't have done.
Yeah.
I really think that being on steroids, maybe only 20% or 30%, but enough to put him over the edge to maybe have done that last kick, for example.
And you said it exacerbates the problem, right? So if you're naturally already a hot-headed guy, being
makes
on
it
drugs
that
is
much
gonna,
worse.
Yeah.
What about caffeine? Would that make you go over the edge too? Like a lot of coffee? Like nonstop?
It would certainly give you more energy, but I've never seen anyone get angry from caffeine. Just more like chatty, more talk a lot more.
Or
I
rage.
don't think so.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either. But
I
yeah,
haven't
no,
seen
I
a
could definitely
caffeine
see
rage.
how if you already have the, proclivity to be an angry guy and then taking steroids, like, yeah, man, I mean, look, the guy walked up to him. I think Wes was 100% within his right to fight the guy back. But yeah, I mean, once the guy's on the floor and he's no longer a threat, man, it's going to be very hard to rationalize and justify self-defense, especially when you have other people there. And that's all going to be used against him in court. And
Does being likable have a play in this at all? Like, let's say he's not liked at all by anybody.
A prior,
By the courts?
prior being in jail
Just in
previously,
general.
for sure. Like if I did it, if it was me, the same situation, I probably would be at a lighter sentence than him because I don't have a history of doing this. So definitely, and I would assume if you're on the jury or if you've seen his behavior, it's going to hurt him.
Okay, so off of all this information that we have
this
now.
is what's going to happen. I'll tell you.
What do you
They're not
assume?
going to. So typically, they don't bring your criminal history into it until it's time for sentencing, right? So let's say he goes to trial, he loses. Then they'll, obviously bring his criminal history in when it comes to his sentencing. But they don't want to taint the jury by his criminal history. A lot of, because the defense attorney would attack that immediately. Like, hey, why are you bringing in his criminal history? That's not relevant to the situation. We're looking at this case. They don't want to, it's called like poisoning the jury. So at least in American law. So we'll see what happens, man. But given the facts and circumstances from what I saw, you can't substantiate, because the biggest offense, assault, a lot of times is self-defense. And in this case, Florida, we have a little bit more leeway than other places because you have the stand your ground law, which became famous after the Zimmerman shooting with Trayvon Martin, where you have no duty to retreat if you're in a place where you're lawfully allowed to be. And in this case, if you had punched the guy and knocked him out, he'd be fine. But assaulting him again and again while having other people there, that's all going to count towards you no longer had a danger to your life. There was no need for this aggression. The threat was subdued, and you continued to go on. And I think that's why originally, though, he got arrested for a misdemeanor, because we know the Miami police here are fucking lazy. They don't do shit. I think the fact that this case blew up and so many people reacted to it, it hit national news, that put an enormous amount of pressure on the AG's office, the assistant district attorney's office here in Miami to go and arrest him and make an example.
But imagine someone comes to your gym, recording, by the way, this whole interaction to try to, I guess, punk or beat you up.
Of course.
That's
yeah.
fucked up, man.
Yeah.
Now,
it is fucked up, yeah.
He did agree to it, and they have the text messages on his DMs saying, meet me at the gym, come here, sure. So it was pre-planned. Like, it was an agree. Like, if me and you agree, we're going to go outside in an hour from now and fight, and we both fight. I'm like, yeah, sure, there's no problem. So there's nothing wrong with him accepting that fight and doing it. But let's say you knocked me out, and I'm knocked out, and then you kick me in the head 3 times after. Well, that's going too far. Up to the knockout, hey, I agreed to fight. You win. That's cool. 2 adults fighting, and then you walk away. But that's, I think, where people draw the line. The fact that he was already down, given up.
Yeah.
30 seconds later, he walks up and kicks him again. It's like, man.
That's all going to be used against him for sure. Because you can't use self-defense anymore at that point, which is what it's going to be. He was good all up until he walked up to him, attacked him, whatever. Good. This is Florida. You don't have a duty to retreat when you're lawfully there.
if he's convicted, what does that mean for him? Is he going to jail?
Yeah.
I would assume so because of his prior. I mean, if he was like
Clean?
he'd never done it before, first offense, I think maybe
You
they
do
would let him
significantly
off.
less time. But in this situation, I wouldn't be. Well, here's the thing. The other thing that's going to be big, that guy's going to have to testify.
Oh, wait a minute. Look at the
victim.
A$AP Rocky and the T. Relly case, whatever. The guy
Yeah.
that he shot at.
Yeah.
Well, for this one, what I heard. If somebody's dead, they can't talk, right? But if they can testify against you, they're probably gonna win because
Yeah.
you attacked them or shot at them.
Yeah. I mean, they've always said the dumbest thing you could do is attack, violently assault or shoot at someone and let them live, because then they're going to be the prime witness against you.
Damn.
Right. You're always. That's why Tory Lanez got hit so hard, because he had witnesses saying that he shot him and they were there, even though he might have not shot. But that's the strength. I say that to say that's the strength of witness testimony. So with this guy, assuming, you know, he decides to move forward and testify, the whole state's case is going to be predicated on his testimony.
Damn.
So we'll see. But if he backs out and says, I don't want to testify anymore, then they might drop it because they won't have a witness, right? Just to have the video footage, whatever, but his testimony is going to be crucial to the
He
prosecution.
was ordered not to communicate with this guy at all, or be, I think, 5 feet close to him.
500 feet from him. Yeah, you can't contact him, the whole thing.
That's going to be automatic. They're going to put a restraining order on Wes for that because they're already worried about him being, you know, because that guy's going to be the star witness. So, but yeah, no, I mean, I mean, if Wes fights this and goes to trial and loses, yeah, he could look at some serious time because he has multiple convictions already. You know, they might even deem him a career criminal and give him an enhancement off of that. So, even though I think his crimes were mostly in California, but that still could come in when it comes. It could absolutely weigh against him when the judge determines sentencing, and that's not even assuming if there's mandatory minimums or whatever in the state of Florida. So not good.
Some chats?
Yeah, I can. Let's see here. What do we got, guys? Get your questions in for Greg. WFNF W chat. Can you ask this ninja his thoughts on caffeine? What coach? We gave him already. Greg, what's your honest take on Dr. Isotel on Renaissance periodization and Jeff Nippard? Okay, so I guess on his training program.
Dr. Mike, I think he's a smart guy. I think he's really intelligent. I think he has great advice. I think that he's a great channel to go and support. I just think that his own personal assessment or his ability to coach himself is not really there. So I think he has great information. I just don't think he follows it himself.
Gotcha.
Oddly enough. And Jeff Nippard, we used to have beef back in the past, but we've since settled that time. I think he has the greatest channel of all of the guys out there in terms of
really
learning from. Yeah, because he goes by the science and he just reports what he's learning. And it's just like, this is the science, this is the evidence. And so I suggest you follow it. And so, you know, for a long time, we didn't really like each other.
Why not?
Well, I said some things about his ex-girlfriend back in the day. She was like eating a lot of calories. I don't want to bring it up, but
the Asian girl?
Yeah.
Oh,
Stephanie Buttermore.
Are they still together?
Oh yeah.
Wait, they are?
Absolutely,
you said
yeah.
ex-girlfriend?
No, they're together.
Yo, nigga.
Did I say something wrong?
No, because you said his ex-girlfriend. So.
His girlfriend.
Oh, his girlfriend.
Yes.
Okay. You said she was eating too much.
Yeah, but since that time, she's basically said, I understand that why he was saying this. Like, basically, I was against the all-in journey and eating.
I remember when she did that series. Yeah, she was getting fat. Yeah, no, what, he got mad at you for that? It's the truth.
But when it's about somebody's, like, anyone, if it's your friend, girlfriend, wife, you're not going to want to hear somebody say anything negative about you. So I can understand the hate that I would get. But you know my channel. I just say what I think. And although I expect pushback. Like, Mike is not going to like me the way I talk about him.
She was promoting gluttony, though. I remember that series.
But I say my honest opinion. Like I just said, I think he has a great channel, but I don't think he listens to his own advice.
Don't talk about Mike Rashid. Don't do that. Yeah, you might get beat up, bro. Don't do it, man. Sorry, go ahead.
He's joking.
Yeah,
yeah, no, I remember this series that you're talking about. She was promoting gluttony. I remember. This was a while after she had just done her show and shit, and she was just like on a rampage.
And so I had my opinions on that, and it's like I just say what I think. It's just like when I do Natty or Not. It's like I did a video on a girl. Just today, I took the video down, and she was teaching people how to lose muscle. And she said, to lose muscle, you do this diet and you go for walks. And I was like, your diet's full of protein and it's high in calories, and walking isn't going to tear down muscle. It makes no sense. And she said, the reason I started eating a lot of food is because people are making fun of me being skinny. So then she ate more food, went to the gym, bulked up, had a great physique, all this muscle. Then people started making fun of her for having too much muscle. And then so she says, I'm going to lose all my muscle. I'm like, woman, like pick a body type. Like you're just going with whatever the way the wind's blowing.
Yeah.
You're either bulking or you're cutting. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. And so she got so much hate from my people watching the video that she's like, could you please take the video down? I'm like, I'll take the video down if you take your videos down promoting this bullshit diet that you were on. And so she's like, cool. And so I took the video down. So that's how adults settle it. In private.
Fair.
No problem.
So, but you guys are cool now, you and Jeff. I was going to try to get him on the show. Guys, we're too controversial, though.
Yeah, not many.
He said we're too controversial.
He's very,
basically.
like,
Clean.
I'm hot or
He didn't
cold,
say
I
it
give
like
my
that,
opinion, but most guys like that are not going to do, they're not going to Yeah, they just wouldn't.
Brand risk.
Well, yeah, I mean, the thing is like the fitness industry has both men and women, right? And obviously we're known as the guys that hate women and make fun of women and shit. So they're like, oh my God, half my family is going to leave me if I go to this podcast. So I was like, all right, whatever, bro.
I never listened to what you should do. I found like, especially what made me famous, I used to call my fans or subs morons. I made fun of everyone and people loved it. And I'm like, I'm just going against the grain.
Yeah.
So I've always done
People
that. I
respect that
continue to
more.
do this rather than just suck up to people. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Here's the thing I've noticed with being politically correct and being nice. When you're politically correct and you're trying to win everyone over, what ends up happening is you can't be yourself anymore.
Yeah.
So if you have controversial views, if you have your political views, your cultural views, whatever, you have to kind of conceal that, right? If you notice, like, none of us know where Jeff Nippard leans politically or culturally.
they're not
Nobody
cartoon.
knows. They say in the middle, which, that's the best way if you want to make money. But obviously, hey, coming on a pod like this, well, are you right wing? What's going on here? So I could see why. Like, I didn't take offense to it, but that's just kind of what it is. But, you're the other thing, too, is they're walking on eggshells. You're literally one scandal away from getting exposed as a misogynist or an asshole. So, it is what it is. What's up with I saw a video, like a couple weeks ago. Some dude hit him at a gym.
Yeah, Jeff
What the
Nippard was
fuck?
attacked. He got throat punched by Drake's bodyguard. I don't
What?
remember this guy's
Some
name.
tatted up
I'm so
guy.
bad
I
with
forget his
names.
name.
Yeah, I forget
Mo,
the
can
name.
you find it real quick
Drake's
for me?
bodyguard?
Mike Van
Bam.
Wyck.
There
yes.
you go. Thank you.
So
Yes.
I actually made videos where I was like, Jeff is so in. Like I
He's
think
a
I
nice
had
guy.
the most views from this, like
a nice
million
guy.
plus views, and I'm like, he does not deserve this. That was over Jeff basically arguing with him that scientifically that his way of training made sense. This other guy's like, no, I think you should train this way.
Yeah.
And then he just attacked him at the
He
gym.
like reacted to one of his videos, like, and I think it was like one of these like TikTok like reaction stitches where he gave some fitness advice and then Jeff gave some scientific peer reviewed
Yes.
article showing that it might have not been correct what he was saying or not optimal. And then he runs into him at the gym and he just he throws him like a rag doll, bro. This guy was huge.
Throat punched him. Jeff's like 5'5", maybe 170
Small guy.
pounds. This guy's like 2 something.
And he's so nice
Listen,
too, right?
I'm sorry, man.
Politically correct, nice Canadian guy.
Some of y'all
Nippard.
bodybuilding niggas be emotional, bro. Just keeping it real.
I mean, it was
Scary,
crazy.
yeah.
Maybe it's gear. But y'all be emotional as fuck, bro.
And the thing was, Wes
saying.
Watson
Yeah.
defended Mike Van Wyck. He said he deserved to get stomped. Like he went all out and
Oh,
was
did
like,
he?
and so I
didn't know that.
started making videos of best Wes Watson for this. I'm like, bro, you actually think that Jeff Nippard deserved that? He's like, don't you know he's alpha? He's bigger than him. You're a short little manlet. He's a big tough guy. You need to know where you stand. And I'm like, it's not making him have a good look. So because he called him out, that made more people hate him. And then he did that yelling at that gardener. Do you remember that one?
oh,
I'm like, man, it makes you look so bad. You're out there saying F you, F you, F you for being too loud while literally, cleaning up his yard.
Yeah, no, man. I mean,
well, making a video.
see, I
it is
disagree with
annoying.
Wes on that one because, like, the thing is, man, is like
Could have said politely, hey, do you mind doing this in a half an hour mid-video? And he would have been like, oh, okay. But like you start cursing, it's like, ugh.
because Jeff,
Yeah.
because I saw the video, I remember reacting to it. Like, he didn't say anything bad about the guy. Like, he criticized the information and said,
Yes.
hey, well, there's this information. It's as nice and cordial as you could be to throw punch somebody for that. Like, come on, man. Like, look, yeah, like I get it. Jeff's a nice guy and very politically correct and stuff like that. Some of you guys might say he's a pussy. Look, he gives good information. Doesn't want to rile the crowd up. Just wants to keep it strictly fitness. I totally respect and understand that.
Yeah.
But for somebody to get mad at him for like being objective and saying, well, actually, this is the studies that show X, Y, Z. He didn't shit on the guy. He was just saying like, here's the conflicting information. And he fucking, because I saw it, bro. It was bad. He like fucking threw him across the thing, and then he was gonna whoop his ass, and then he kind of backed away.
He pushed his cameraman.
Yeah, he
too.
pushed his cameraman.
It's
like,
like, bro,
unnecessary.
it's
Wait,
too much.
Can we see it?
Yeah, we can if you want.
There's definitely footage of that.
There's footage of it. I saw. Can we pull it
Yo,
up
he's
real
Drake's
quick?
bodyguard.
Drake's former bodyguard, so he would actually know how to, he'd know how to fight,
wonder-
defend himself.
I wonder if I know him.
He's huge.
Yeah.
We'll search
Mike
right now.
Van
All
Wyck's
tatted
an
up, bald guy.
IFBB pro bodybuilder. He's like 6 foot tall, probably 250, like a big guy.
Yeah.
Tattoos, the whole thing.
Yeah, I reacted to it. We could find Mo. Someone in the chat, Discord or somebody. Can you guys get it for us so that we can?
But in
show
the
it real
meantime, we got some chats piled up here.
Yeah.
For Greg, actually.
quick? Yeah, I'm sure people have a bunch of questions for Greg. And then, guys, just so you guys know,
Yeah.
Greg will hang out with us with some lovely ladies, man. We'll talk some dating
let's
and
go!
stuff like that, and
Yeah.
we can
Wait,
have
Greg,
a conversation.
Are you single?
No. We got Mepstagram over there watching from the
yeah,
side.
bro, this is girl.
Oh, I thought it was his girl.
Oh,
He's married.
Okay, there you go.
yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, I remember because we met in California from before.
And she was at the Jubilee show
she was
with
at the
us.
Jubilee show, and you met my girlfriend and stuff. So yeah, I remember.
Am I the only one that's single here?
The only smart man.
W's in the chat, man. Let's go. Just kidding. Soon.
Well, I still am too. Is there a way you can abuse pre-workouts? If so, how?
Ooh.
Yeah, very easily by taking more than you should, or even just taking the max dose. If you're not used to it, it can be a bad sign. Like you drink too much caffeine, you're up all night. Very dangerous. Dry scooping also dangerous. So caffeine, I would actually say
dry
that
scooping is bad.
yeah, people do it all the time. I would say that
shit, I didn't know that.
pre-workouts are
What is that?
probably the most dangerous of all supplements that you could take. The most
taking a
likely
scoop
to
by
be
itself?
used.
You
What-
take
what-
like the powder, because I used to do this shit. Yeah, you put it in your mouth. It's all chalky and dry. Pause, and then you put some water and you wash it down.
You can
That's bad?
choke on it for starters.
Oh shit.
And the water's important for hydration. So yeah, it's like I don't know why people do it.
do you
Tastes
even
gross.
need pre-workout to actually work out properly? Do you need
No, but do you need anything? Do you need Cialis to have sex? Do you need Supermans?
it? Well, some
No,
niggas
but
do.
it's gonna make it better. So
I don't. BBC gang in the building.
Fuck, bro.
Hey man, Joseph being black, you know.
Yeah, I guess so. Costa doing business says, Coach Greg, hypothetical scenario here. Let's say a man is almost 400 pounds. Would you suggest they lose weight slowly to preserve the elasticity
yeah.
of their skin? Damn, I feel like Chris. Or is the morbid obesity such a dire scenario that the man should lose more than 30 pounds a year to limit the chances of heart attack, stroke, and other life-threatening complications from being a fat ass?
No, you
notes,
should
Mo.
lose that weight faster than last time. You're 400 pounds. You're screwed. You got to get that weight off.
Damn.
I mean, I would say a safe 4 pounds a week you could lose.
How do you?
30 pounds a year, that's nothing. 1% of body weight. You should have no problem getting down to 300 pounds in like a year tops. I mean, that'd be going slow.
How do you even get there, bro?
Overeating. And honestly, you can do it quite slow. If you're in a 100-calorie surplus a day, you're going to gain 1 pound of fat a month, 10 plus pounds a year. You do that for 10 years, it's 100 pounds. 20 years, 200 pounds. So you're 200 pounds at 20, you're 400 pounds at 40 by a 100-calorie surplus a day. That's all it takes.
It's not much.
That is scary,
It's
bro.
easy
Adds up
over
over
a
time.
long period of time.
And that could literally be from like, pause, like any lick of a lollipop, candy, ice cream, like a morsel here, a morsel there, adds up.
Or
Bro,
walking a mile less.
Walking a mile less.
Bro, the moment I can't see my,
you had a dog and now you don't have a dog anymore. You don't
the
walk
moment
the
I can't
dog?
see my dick, bro, it's over. It's over for everybody.
Okay. What else do you got here? Sheriff says, huge fan, Greg. Never stop saying what you think. What's your current opinion on Jon Skywalker?
Man, that's super sad, this guy. I mean,
What happened?
he used to abuse performance-enhancing drugs as well as recreational drugs. Very, very famous guy.
Yeah.
He had that kind of very tall,
Very
aesthetic
Z's look.
physique.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he got into doing, I think, too many recreational drugs, and he was hospitalized, had severe edema, probably heart failure and so on, and he's just recently been released. He had he started posting things on his stories saying like basically hinting that he's not going to be around anymore, that he won't be alive, let's say. He got taken away, and so he's struggling. He's lost all his muscle. He looks sickly. And so, I mean, if I was a fan of his, I'd be like, that's another warning. I'm betting you 10 years ago, if he went back in time, he would not choose to do steroids, direct drugs that he was doing.
Damn.
And so it's like, at the time, it's cool. He's getting hundreds of thousands
Yeah,
of
I
followers.
remember.
He's promoting Tren Tech, I think it was called.
His
And
clothing
it's like,
line.
it's cool when you're 20, but then when you're 30, 40, it's not cool anymore. Being cool is being alive.
Yeah, he comes from the Z's era.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking
So
right.
it's sad. I mean, he lost all his muscle, the severe swelling, the edema in the legs.
Yeah, I'm looking at
Oh
his
my
Instagram
God,
now,
it's-
man. Wow. Holy shit, he's changed
It's
a lot.
very sad. Yeah, it's this.
It ain't
wishing
worth
the
it,
best.
man. Drugs are not worth it, dude.
Can we show it on screen so everyone can see?
Sure. It's got Jon Skywalker on Instagram. Bills. I remember. I used to follow him way back in the day, man. He comes from that aesthetic, era with Jeff Side and Matt Ogus and all these guys, like roughly 10 years ago, man. That's absolutely crazy.
All advice isn't good advice, huh?
Yeah, the gear, man, is not worth it. This is why I've always been natural, man. Like I've always told guys, like, man, stay natty. Yeah, you might not, be as big or look as good, but dude, longevity is important, man. What do we got here? W Greg, W Fresh and Fit. You guys cooked those fatties on Jubilee. You know it, bro. Me and Greg are a great 1-2 punch with these fat asses.
Abo Ace.
What's Greg's thoughts on the Tren Twins, Mike and Chris? I think we kind of
Twins?
talked about it a little bit.
I like both these guys. I coach them. Mepsigram loves their channel. She loves it. I mean, the problem is they're on steroids and they're young and they promote it. They glorify it. Now, I mean, they're tearing pecs. They're training really heavy. I like their content. It's entertaining for me, but I do worry about the impression they give on like the teenagers. Because these guys, I don't know if they're 22. They're freaks. They're so strong, bench pressing over 500 pounds. Like they're just super strong, very good at bodybuilding. But they're on steroids at a very young age, and they're giving advice on steroids. They don't know much about it. And I mean, the fear is that they get even more popular. They've already got over 1 million followers.
Does it like, as someone that's been in the game for so long, when you see these young guys do this, like, does it make you cringe inside? Like, holy fuck, man! Like,
yeah, because I was them. Like, think of it. Like, they're both powerlifters and bodybuilders, and exceptionally good at both. I was that as a younger guy, but I was natural. And so if I had to use steroids at 22, I'm sure I would have torn a pec. I would have got injured eventually.
Damn.
I'm like, can you guys just do it natural first?
Because you used it in your 30s and you're still like, holy shit. So
it took me until my 30s. 42 shows natural. I started training at 10. I'm like, get to your natural genetic limit. And then if you want to do it, then do it. Like when you start using it at 21, 22, it's like you're too young. Yeah. And then their fans are 15, 16, 17-year-olds, and so they want to do it because they make it cool. Like the Tren Twins can promote, like, something. They promoted the pre-workout. One of them ended up in the hospital from double scooping his own pre-workout. But you know what that does? It sells more of it.
Yeah.
The kids are like, I want that stuff. It put him in the hospital. Imagine how good it is.
Yeah. Like, if it gets banned, people want it.
Oh, yes. Like my testosterone, if that got banned by WADA, because like these ecti steroids are on the watch list, if that gets banned, I'm gonna be making millions and millions and millions. The same thing happened with we had GO2 Max, NMN got banned. The sales went from like a few a day to like 1,000.
Remember Jack 3D got banned?
Yes.
Their sales spiked way back in the day.
People want what's on the cusp, what's on edge, like they don't want to break the laws, break the rules. Yeah, barely legal, that's a different story. But yeah, they want what's the most dangerous that they can get. So if it gets banned, it's just going to increase sales.
Damn.
All right. What's up next here? We
Demetrius
got
Raps.
Demetrius Raps says, I feel slow. I just noticed Greg was in the Jubilee video with you, Myron, and currently that video has a whopping 72K comments agreeing with Myron and Greg. That was people first time getting a taste of Myron Extreme Takes WFNF. Yeah, I am a bit extreme.
A bit?
A little bit. But that's why I like Greg so much, bro. He has the balls to come on here. He's not scared like these other guys. WFNF and W Greg, Myron and Fresh already know this, but last May I lost 300 plus pounds. Congrats. I listened to Myron Fat Shame call in show supporters and fat women on the after hour show. He wasn't directly talking to me, but I took it to heart. I couldn't stand to be a loser anymore and had no choice but to hold myself accountable, suffer, and lose the weight. I'm down 92 pounds and on track to hit my target weight by the end of April. As long as I stick to the program I've made, thanks to this show and guys like you, W Shame. Yeah, shame does work, bro.
Good job, bro.
Yeah, shame does work. What's your thoughts on shaming people, Greg?
I think that it can work for some people. I think that that's what men do. Men shame other men. Women do not. We had this discussion earlier today. Like, men treat women so much more nicely than they do men. Yeah. Like, oh, they're being so nice to me. I'm like, yeah, men are being nice to women. If it was a man saying it to a man, they'd say something completely different. And what we do with people who are fat, 400 or 500 pounds, they treat them like we treat women. Everyone coddles them. Oh, no, it's what's on the inside that's count. They don't tell them the truth. If they treated these obese people the way that men talk to men, it would be a completely different story.
Did you see Kanye West, some of his tweets today? Oh, he's been going crazy. I'll get one on fat people that I found. But let's keep reading. Let me find this. I'll send it to you guys. Oh, do you got the Jon Skywalker thing real quick? Yeah. Let's pull it up real quick, show the audience. And guys, this is a representation for you guys. This guy used to be the fucking man like 10 years ago. In the fitness industry. And we can scroll down like one of his old photos. Yeah. See that one right there on the bottom?
Wow.
Like this guy literally, was like this is what I would call like the aesthetic physique that most girls would like, perfect blend between aesthetics while still having muscular development, right? This was him before. Now, this is him after.
What the
look at the lower legs
and then
there,
look at
the
feet,
swelling.
Man.
Oh, yeah.
You can unmute it too, Bills, if you want.
They use my diuretics, fucking swollen ass feet, like about 10, 15 pounds of water retention, And look at my legs, they're all like swollen and shit. My muscles, bro, I lost my physique. Seriously, so
and
it's
listen
like,
to him speak.
Bro, I gotta come back. That's like way overdue right now. But like, my health keeps like fluctuating,
Crazy, man. And then you see here, anyways, if you miss my stories, I've been dealing with heart issues since the end of last year, and no, it wasn't because of the Tren or test. In fact, I was completely off gear for the majority of 2024, most likely due to the ketamine therapy I started when I turned 30, leading to the most challenging addiction I've ever had to overcome. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, Said commented as well. Said.
Shit.
Praying for your bro. Hope you make it
that's
out.
Z's brother right there.
Yeah.
Praying for you, bro. Hope you make it out the darkness. Always here if you need a homie to chat with. What are your thoughts on that? Greg, do you think it's the ketamine as he's saying, or do you think the steroids actually played a bigger role than he cares to admit?
I definitely would know it's both.
Okay.
It's definitely both.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's just ketamine either.
Yeah. Some other stuff?
I think he's been on everything. This is a guy that's raving.
Yeah.
Going to all the, I don't think these guys are just,
Going to music festivals where they're
Sober,
doing all
probably
kinds
not.
of drugs and
Yeah.
shit. Yeah. That's very unfortunate, man, to see that. But, guys, that's why stay natty, man. It's really not worth it, guys. What do we got next?
Can you imagine? Because I think about it this way, right? Long term, I'm gonna take steroids to become fit and look like the man to smash hoes. Then I don't. Hold on. Then I don't get hard with the chick. I gotta take Cialis or Viagra. Then I might die in 10 years. Nigga, fuck that shit. Like, why did I take steroids? To me, it's dumb.
Yeah.
like for what?
Look good on the outside and dying on the
I
inside,
can
right?
smash hoes right now looking like this. Fuck it, bro. We'll do that.
The bigger you get, you're going to turn on a certain group of people. And basically, when you have a lot of muscle, you turn on more men.
Oh, you know what? I'm glad.
Shit.
Yeah, so this is a dark secret that people don't know, right?
Pause,
like
nigga.
only people that are like, kind of really dedicated their life to fitness understand this. People say, "Oh, I want to get ripped or whatever and get a physique like Jon Skywalker," right? Like, yeah, you'll get some girls with that, absolutely. But what ends up happening is you get more dudes paying attention to you than girls, and this is a dark secret that not many people talk about.
Banabati, man.
And a lot of women
What?
don't want that shit. Like, a lot of girls will feel some type of way, like, "Oh, you're too muscularly developed." Like, being too ripped or too jacked actually hurts you. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Once you get to a certain amount of size, I would say even a little bit bigger than I am right now, you're going to turn off half the girls. You're going to get some girls that like it. Certain girls, probably girls that are on steroids.
Yeah.
You're going to get more jack girls who have deep voices and
Yeah.
look like men. They're going to want you more. But the hotter, nicer, sweeter, let's say cute girls, they're not going to want that.
And not only that, the other thing too, like your lifestyle is going to be counterproductive to like getting these chicks. Like you can't eat at certain restaurants, you don't drink alcohol, you sleep at a certain time. Like the more dedicated you are to the fitness and making your physique look a certain way, the more you kind of ostracise yourself from normies, which is where most girls fall.
I can't tell
The hot
you
ones, at
how
least.
many girls that we've been out with and they have boyfriends that are bodybuilders. They'd be like, "Oh, he didn't want to eat a dinner at Komodo yesterday because blah, blah, blah. He's on his diet. This is so boring. I want to go out have fun." And then they'll go smash other dudes that can do the lifestyle. So
Yeah.
it's like a trade-off where like your girl's going to be like, "What the fuck, dude?"
Your
Like,
irritability, if you're dieting, if you're on drugs, like all of that like ends up weighing against you and actually hurting you with women in the long run.
also, they're more aggressive.
And when I was dating, I've dated a fair bit of girls that were competitors, bikini, and all these different categories.
Sure.
And we'd both be getting ready for competition. We both look our best. No interest in each other.
Wow.
I'm not interested
Would
in
you guys
sex. She's not.
purposely compete around the same time so that like you
Quite
guys
often, yeah.
That's
You're
actually
sharing
smart to do it
misery
that way.
because
Yeah.
when one person's dieting, the other's not, it doesn't really work out that
it's
well.
bad, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's great because that way at least you could suffer with someone else, right? Like, I mean, obviously you're not going to be intimate, but like you're going to, prepare the food together and shit like that.
Would you ever date again a gym girl?
She's a gym girl, I would say. Just not maybe at the level of like
But like a
competing.
high level gym girl, like top of the top.
Oh, you mean like I think he means like a fitness influencer
yeah,
chick.
yeah.
Like
Would
a
you?
girl that's huge on steroids?
Well, she's her
Big
main-
on the internet.
big
Like
on-
she's a fitness influencer.
I
with a
would
big
date
following.
famous anyone. I would. That doesn't bother me at all.
Doesn't bother you? Okay.
No, millions of followers, it wouldn't matter. No, that doesn't scare me off at all.
For what I've seen, it's kind of scary, bro. Trust me, you don't want to know what I've seen.
What have you seen?
It's kind of dark. Well, let's just say if they're big on the internet, anybody can hit them up.
But are they on OnlyFans?
Okay, here's the funny
Like
part.
it depends. Like
They
they've
always
got
have
2
OnlyFans.
million
OF
followers.
is where you
know?
draw the line then, right?
But hold
Yeah,
on,
like
hold
I'm
on.
not
Greg,
gonna go out with
Greg.
somebody that you could see their coochie
Greg,
on.
they're
on-
smarter. They've evolved, bro. So it's obvious with OnlyFans, right? That's the obvious thing you can see. Link in bio, click the link. But you know what they've done though? Twitter and Snapchat Premium. That's where the magic happens because it's
I'm on
low-key.
Snapchat.
No,
that's a
it's
great.
Snapchat Premium.
What's premium?
You gotta like
I have my stories, but
you gotta like pay for videos. So like, imagine, I want to see you in a black guy smash. I want to see you like do.
so they're still doing. Yeah.
they're doing it low key though.
Oh yeah, I'm not. My girlfriend is not doing that.
Cause I used to wonder like, how are you in the gym 24/7? How do you pay your freaking bills? But then it hit me after seeing some things. Oh, You sell your body,
With
or you do like
millions of followers, you would not need to do that. If you have 1 million followers and you're not making $1 million a year, you've done everything wrong.
But Greg, remember, their followers are men, not women buying their products. So
They still don't know what they're doing. They need to hire somebody that can tell them what to do.
like Brandon
because if
Carter. I agree.
My good, if you do not have to, if you're a woman with 1 million followers, you don't need to get naked to make money. You're doing something wrong.
Oh, you'd be surprised, my friend. You'd be
They
surprised.
just don't know better. They're not smart enough to figure out what to do other than show off their bodies.
That's why we do a show 3 times a week about girls and dating.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm trying to find the tweet that he made making fun of fat girls.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, here
He's
we
been
go.
going crazy, bro. He's been going crazy all day today. It's fucking awesome.
Okay, we got
Marvelous.
Woo Mama says, thoughts on women taking creatine? I've been getting mixed reviews on this topic. Creatine.
Take it. Why wouldn't you take it? You absolutely should be taking it.
Okay.
Simple.
Gaz, oh, he said something crazy. All right, cool. Fresh updates. Bro, how do I stop protein farts?
Eat less protein. I mean, they're not going to be that bad. It's mostly eggs, the sulfur. That's
no.
what's bad. Stay away from
Myron's are bad,
a
bro.
lot of eggs.
Yo, Myron's protein farts are bad.
It happens.
Just say it, bro.
It happens sometimes.
Samsung Atlas says, hey, Greg, are you going to be at the Arnold Classic?
I am going to be. I'm on the panel, guest speaking again this year. Luckily, now that I can travel, I wasn't going to go, and I'm like, sorry, I can't make it this year. And then like 30 minutes later, the lawyer called me, you're back in the States. I'm like, all right. And so, yeah, I'll be there.
How does that feel, bro, to be free now after all those years of being like held back?
Honestly, the first trip I made back, like I wasn't able to go to the States for like 10 years. So I'm like, I'm going to the Arnolds, and I walk in, I'm like, I've never had that kind of experience in my life. Thousands of people lining up to take photos. I bought your cookbook. I watched your videos. You've changed my life. You've saved my life. I mean, I walked out of there with so many compliments that my bank of compliments is so high that now when I read people shitting on me on the internet, like you're a 5'6" manlet loser, no girl would ever date you. I'm like, I'm so full of compliments that you can't take me down.
Facts.
It's there. It's the bank of compliments is so high. I can't be taken down. I just feel too good about it. It was an eye-opening experience to think that many people watched my videos. It was surreal, and it still shocks me to this day.
You know, it's funny.
He said, fuck all this woke shit. They putting fat bitches on the runway. Nobody want to see that shit.
Well, it's true.
It's unhealthy and promotes obesity, and is wild is if the fat bitch lose weight, then they lose their acceptance for Adele because she actually has another talent than being used as a pawn for political agendas.
Yo, that nigga is going off
He's going crazy right now.
off the rails right
He said
now.
he was
doesn't
a
care.
Nazi earlier. And he called himself Yadolf.
Well, it's true. Who wants to see a 400-pound runway model? And
Yeah.
who wants to see a 300-pound girl on the cover of Sports Illustrated?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It's
They're
terrible.
using these women, and they think, no, they're being like, no, they're using it because they know it's going to sell magazines, and they don't care. They just care about making money.
Yeah.
They'll do whatever they need to do to make the most money.
When you
Yeah.
lie, I always say, when you lie, women buy. And, you know, lying and saying you can be fat and everything else like that, women are going to be like, oh, really? Okay, love my body. And then, boom, we got this whole body positivity bullshit going on.
Yeah.
So he had another funny-ass tweet saying that it's like a crime that fat women are in public. I gotta find it, though. Mo, can you help me
Yeah,
with
I
this?
think saying
Or,
it's a
here?
crime to be fat in public, that's too far.
Yeah, he said it was funny. I got to find it, but we'll keep reading the chats. Fresh, can you keep
Gabody.
reading?
Shout out to Coach Greg. I got Turk Builder and GO2 Max, and I can test the shit works. He's indeed not a snake oil salesman. Anyone thinking to compete, make sure you have a proper tan.
Exactly. It's all about the tan. But see, the problem with Turk Builder and Turk Max is the majority of the fitness industry is lying and selling fake Ajuga. They're getting this shit from China. It's way cheaper. It doesn't have the same effect. And so a lot of people are trying Turkestrone, Ajuga, but they're not actually getting what they're paying for. And that's the big problem.
Where can they find your stuff?
On my website. Although we're sold out now, probably. Are we, Steve?
You guys
We're
are sold out?
I mean, Will Tennyson made a video. He used it. He said it's effective. It's got millions of views. So obviously, the sales went up, and so we're trying to get it back in stock. I keep smuggling this stuff from Uzbekistan. 50 keys in the duffel bag.
Damn.
It's tough, man.
Hey, it's working, bro. That's what matters.
Guys, CastleClub, I know you guys are going to find it. You guys are going to find it. It was something about, like, it's sexual assault. You already got it? Okay, yeah. It was hilarious what he said about it, about fat women and sexual assault. But let's see. Yeah, he's taking down a bunch of his tweets, guys, because they're coming after him right now. But he's been going crazy. All right, fat bitches are sex offenders. I see them as sexually offended. Making lingerie for fat bitches like giving knives to little kids. They go hurt somebody. If you find yourself in a fat bitch pussy, just remember it's because you're broke.
Yo, that's crazy, bro.
broke.
Yo, send me that tweet. I gotta
ugly,
retweet that shit, man. Yo, can you send me
No
that? And it's
game.
still up? Give me the link for it. I need
Yeah.
to retweet that shit. All right. That's hilarious. It is sexual assault. So the saw in all of our eyes. Okay.
I remember very vaguely. Back when I was broke, I was in a lot of fat bitches. I was there. So he started telling the truth.
I always tell people to progressive overload your bitches. You start at the ones, and then you go to a 2, and you can handle that to a 3, to a 4.
Yeah.
This is how you do it.
Listen, it's survival, right? It's survival. You gotta kill the
That's
runts.
a first. You know? Progressive overload your bitches. I like that. I
It's
like
true.
that.
Like, so many guys don't have the confidence to talk to hot women. I'm like, start with the ugliest, fattest woman at the bar and go and talk to her. She ain't got no one. Talk to her, get some confidence, and then you can work up to the
Start
2s,
where you can.
the 3s, and eventually you'll get a 4.
You know the W, Greg, man?
You know that there's old saying, go where you're appreciated. Start with the ones.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that's some good shit, man.
Yo. That's a first. I like that one.
Greg is the
Progressive
man.
overload your bitches.
Greg is the man.
Oh, man. Watch someone fucking clip that and try to say he's a misogynist coming on our podcast
Oh,
saying that
man.
shit. Hey, man, it's awesome, man. Fuck y'all niggas. All right, what do we got next? That's it? No
How
more chat?
dare you?
Okay, cool.
Greg.
It's 10 o'clock now. Chris, all the girls here?
Let's go 10:45.
Start the show at 10:45? Okay.
Greg,
The last
this was an
person.
awesome interview, man. You killed it, 100%.
Yeah.
Where can they find you? And when you get back more stock, where can they buy from you for the
HTLTsups.com. But I mean, just type in Greg Doucette
Can
on
we bring it on
YouTube.
screen?
Follow me there. I'm shadow banned on Instagram because I just say too much shit, and it's Greg Doucette IFBB Pro.
Yes.
If I weren't shadow banned, I'm trying to get 1 million followers there. I'm at like 9 something. It's been stuck for a while.
I got some things you could do to employ to help you get over there. I got you.
All right.
We got you.
Yeah.
Also, guys, he's gonna stay tuned. He's gonna be here with the lovely ladies. And then we're gonna do some work with Greg behind the scenes as well. So you guys are gonna see a little bit more of us and Greg together with some stuff.
One last thing.
Projects.
Oh, after this chat.
WGuest, WFNF. I just got a TRT because it's 1400 now. I'm still take HCG and haven't working out for almost 3 months. Haven't told my doctor yet.
1400 is way too high, and you don't need HCG, especially at that level. It's just going to increase your test levels even more. Just half the dose, and you'd probably be good.
Fair enough.
And
Minimum
guys,
effective dose, guys.
we have an event February 22nd here in Miami, Florida. We're going to do a actual live event. The first 2 hours is going to be free for CastleClub members, but for the main event itself from 2 to 6 is going to be premium members only. And you can find the link in your
$8
actual
a month.
login
Get in there, niggas.
and come to the event. And there's an after party with the yachts, the girls, and the food. And we have only 10 spots left. So guys, get tickets now while you still can. Link is gonna be in your login for CastleClub Premium and as well for locals. Type in that right now.
RSVP wherever you're at. RSVP for regular CastleClub
Yep.
if you're in there. RSVP for CastleClub Premium. If you guys want, just do the RSVP regular CastleClub. Come in. If you like it, then upgrade to Premium right there on the spot and then stay.
There you go.
That way you don't lose anything, guys. All right. Anything else? All right, cool. Guys, we're going to be back with some lovely ladies in about 45 minutes. We're going to reset the studio, and we'll have Greg on. It's going to be a good time. Talk dating, fitness, whatever it may be. Actually, whatever Greg wants to ask the girls, we'll have them do that.
Why are you fat?
Whatever Greg wants, man. He's going to be the captain of the next show. Love you guys. Go check him out on Instagram and on YouTube. Great fitness commentary. We'll be back in a little bit. Peace.
Peace.